Alright, this is lesson number 6, adding and subtracting polynomials. The objective for this lesson, students will add and subtract polynomials. So what we're going to talk about today is how to organize things in math. Sometimes in math things get complicated, so we have to organize like terms together. And the way I kind of describe it, I use different methods, but let's say you go to like a yard sale in your town and you're like really into music, but there's like all sorts of this really cool old music, and the guy is selling it. He's like, I'll give you that whole box of CDs for $10, and you're like, sure, I'll buy it. And there's like a lot of CDs in there, so you're like, you don't have time to look through it at the yard sale, but you're like, I'm gonna buy it. So you pull it out and you want to organize it, right? You want to see, like, I'm really into country, okay? So you're like, there's a few country CDs in there, and you're like, I like the other stuff too, but I want to see what's in there. So you're like, okay, cool. You pull it out, you make some pause. You're like, oh, that's a country CD. I'll make a country CD. Oh, that is rock. Cool, that's rap. And you're like, oh, Miley Cyrus. Do not want that. You have like your throw this away immediately pile, right? And so you're like putting this down, and you're like, ooh, Justin Bieber, love that. You put that down, right? And so you're making piles, and then at the end, you organize everything. You have a pile of rock, pile of country, pile of rap, pile of discard, right? So at the end, you figure out, oh, cool, I have like 5 rock CDs, and awesome, I got like 20 country CDs. Got like 10 rap CDs, and then I got like, 5 more CDs I'm just going to give away or toss because I don't really want them, right? So we organize in math the same way, and you use this skill in real life. It's really important to stay organized because it makes your life better. It makes it more efficient. So anyways, here we go. I'll talk to you about it. Here are the steps. They're written down on the board. If you're on the video right now, please pause it and copy the steps. Otherwise, here we go. I'm going to do numbers 1 and 2. Just watch right now. Okay, number one. So number 1, the first thing I'm going to do is look at my problem. I got 4n to the 4th minus 3 minus 6n plus 1 minus n minus 7n to the 4th. And I'm noticing I got 2 polynomials, okay? And it's basically, I'm thinking 2 groups of numbers are being added together. And we know it's added because there's a plus sign in the middle there. So the first thing I'm going to do is organize things vertically for each of these problems. So 4n to the 4th minus 3 minus 6n. I'm going to go take the term that's the biggest, which is 4n to the 4th, and start with that. Okay, that's the highest degree. And then I'm going to go to the next term. We have, are there any n to the thirds in this first polynomial? No, there aren't. Are there any n to the thirds in the second polynomial? No, and I'm checking to see because I might need a place marker. There isn't. Okay, next thing I want to check is for n squareds. Are there any n squareds here? No. Any n squareds here? Nope. I'm not going to do that. Then I'm going to check for n to the first. Yep, there's negative 6n. So I'm going to bring that down next. I'm going to rewrite it. I'm not doing the negative 3. I'm going to leave alone. And then now I'm going to deal with constants, which is negative 3. Okay? So that's the first polynomial. The second polynomial, now I'm going to bring down the operation, which was the plus sign. Put that right here. Open parentheses. And then since I started with 4n to the 4th, I'm looking for n to the 4th on this side. So clearly see that there's n to the 4th right here, okay? So I'm going to bring that down first. And I'm bringing down the sign in front of it too. We have negative 7n to the 4th. Then I'm going to check for n to the 1st on this right side. There's negative n to the 1st right here, so we're going to just bring down negative n. And any constants on this side, yeah, there's just a 1. So the sign in front of the 1 is actually a positive sign, so we're going to bring down a plus 1 here because it's a positive 1, and we're going to close parentheses. Alright, so I just organized everything in order, descending order. Now I'm ready to work this out. So now I'm going to think about it. Looking at just the coefficients, now we got 4n to the 4th plus negative 7n to the 4th. So I could just think, what's 4 plus negative 7? Well, 4 plus negative 7 is negative 3, right? And I know that already because I'm really good at integers by now, since I've learned them since 6th grade. Then we have negative 6n plus negative n is negative 7n. And then we have negative 3 plus positive 1 is negative 2, right? And then we're all done. Everything's already in descending order. You see it's n to the 4th and n to the 1st and constant. So box my answer and I'm all done, okay? So that's number 1, all right? Number 1. I'm going to put a little divider there. Okay, so again, what did I do? So I'm going to replay this. The first thing that I did is I reorganized everything in descending order, checking the left and right side. And then I also put the second one right underneath it. Then I added them together, combining like terms, and boxed my answer. Okay, so number 2 now. Watch me do number 2. We got 7b cubed minus 8b plus b squared. So looking both sides, what's the biggest term? We have b to the thirds, right? We have b to the third on this side here and right here. So I'm going to start with that. Let's start with 7b to the third. Then we have thinking, do we have any b squareds to deal with? Yeah, there's a b squared here, and we're b squareds here, so let's write plus b squared. Next thing, are there any b to the first? Yeah, there's b to the first here, and 2b here to the first, so we're going to bring it down negative 8b. Okay, that's the first one. Looking at the operation, there's a minus sign, making sure I bring that down. Open parentheses. Starting with b cubes, we have negative 6b cubed. Negative 6b cubed. Plus 4b squared. And then plus 2b. Okay. Now I will work out this problem. So we got 7b cubed minus negative 6b cubed. So 7 minus negative 6 is positive 13b cubed. Next one, we have b squared minus 4b squared is going to be negative 3b squared. And then we have negative 8 minus positive 2 is negative 10b. Okay, and that's it. I did. As I was working it out, I made sure that I was adding it, distributing it in my problem. So again, 7 minus negative 6 is positive 13, right? B minus positive 4b is going to be negative 3b squared. That's what I meant by that. If you wanted to do an extra step, like if that's easier for you, you could distribute, like legitimately distribute. But if you could just do it this way, it's just the same thing, okay? Any questions? Great question. Alright, so I'd like you to do 2's to the 1's about number 1 this time. 1's to the 2's about number 2. Ready? Let's do number 3 now. That wasn't right. Okay, here we go. Number 3. Okay, so this one you can work with your neighbor. Working this one, I'll come around in a moment, in about a minute, to check up on you. Okay, so the correct answer here is going to be 7b cubed minus negative 6b cubed is going to be, when you subtract the negative, if you're actually adding, so this would be 13b cubed. That's the first term. Next term is going to be squared. So positive b squared minus 4b squared is going to be negative 3b squared. And then lastly, negative 8b minus 2b is going to be negative 10b. Okay, so if you got that right, give yourself a little pat on the back if you didn't. Please fix your whiteboards, and then let's move on to number 4. Ready, set, go. Looking up here in case you, to see if you missed it. Okay, so first thing I'm doing, checking up to see what's the biggest term. We got 4m to the 4th plus negative 8m to the 4th is negative 4m to the 4th. Then looking for m to the thirds. There's negative 6m to the thirds here, but there aren't, and there's negative 3m to the thirds here, so we're going to go work with those. We got negative 9m to the third.
Why is the 4 negative?
Why is the 4 negative? Because positive 4m to the 4th plus negative 8m to the 4th is?
Oh, you did it. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. Negative 6m to the third plus negative 3m to the third is negative 9m to the third. Then we have m squareds. There aren't any m squareds on the left side, but on the right-hand side, there aren't any m squareds either. Okay. Then we have m to the first, 3m here. Are there m to the first here? No, so we just have positive 3m here. Bring that down. And then on the right-hand side, we have a constant. We don't have any constants on the left-hand side, so we have a plus 1, right? Plus positive 1, which is just plus 1. And that's it. Okay. Y'all feel pretty good about this? Yeah, it's pretty easy. So that will conclude the lesson. We're just gonna skip over the last 2 examples. So what I'd like you to do is turn off your iPads.